Yes.
Something like that.
You guys are in the future. So, but yeah, episode 1 of the filler episode, guys. What are we going to be talking about this week?
Ghosts in the Shell standalone complex.
Ooh. So the idea behind the show is basically we're going to be talking about individual anime series once every other week because it takes a long time to watch a season of an anime. Well, it doesn't take me very long because
Some of us have jobs, so.
I don't have to watch it. I get to be the chat room. What's the word I'm looking for?
Surrogate.
Yeah, I get to be you guys. So, basically, the whole premise of the show is we're going to be watching some like well-known things, but we're mostly going to get trying to keep to these obscure shit people haven't seen before or may have not seen. And basically, the objective of Dan and Eric here, see, got it.
Yep.
And their mission is to convince me to watch this show,
Or never watch it.
or to never watch it. I do like anime. I own a few. My favorite one that's sitting on my shelf right over there is where Outlaw Star, greatest anime ever made. And I definitely am going to be a part of that one when we review that one, because I don't believe you guys to do that one justice. It's like if we were. It's like if we review a Godzilla anime. We're like, I'm doing this one solo, guys.
Alright, Randy convinced me to watch a Godzilla anime.
It's amazing. All I need to say is Godzilla, and if you're not in it, then go fuck yourself. But no, guys. Who's got the background for this week for this anime?
I've got most of the background already.
All right, so Zero, why don't you tell us a little bit of the history of this show?
Okay, so Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is based off the original manga by Masamune Shirow. It ran from 1989 to 1997. There was the first movie that came out in 1995, and this came out in 2002 and ran till 2003. It runs alongside the original manga storyline, but it's separate. It's not a continuation or an adaptation. But some of the episodes were written by the original author.
Okay. How many spin-offs or other shows has this thing spawned?
Oh, there's tons of them. There's this anime, which is the first season. There's Standalone Complex Second Gig, which is the second season. There's several manga now. I think one of them just started up recently. There's 2 movies that came out during the time span that the 2 seasons of the TV show are running. And a 3rd movie came out a couple years ago. And I think Dan said there was another series of anime coming out.
There's an OVA that came out. There's 3 episodes to it. They came out over the last couple of years, and the 3rd and final one is coming out in June this year.
Now, this show is canon with the movie that came out.
No, it's separate.
It's separate?
Yep.
So don't...
It's either a prequel or completely separate. I've never been really sure.
Okay.
Because at the end of the first movie, I mean, they're not all together.
Yeah, it seems kind of like how some of the episodes are, where it's standalone, as they like to say.
Yeah, the way I interpret the name of the show, Standalone Complex, is that each episode is independent of each other until you get to the things. The reason why I'm talking a little bit is because I've seen the show a while ago, because I used to watch fucking Toonami, or what's the other Adult Swim that ran it, but it kind of splits itself up between being a show that's got independent episodes, and then they got the Laughing Man shit that goes on.
Yep.
Yeah, there's an overarching plot to the season, but there's also some throwaway episodes.
Yeah.
Actually, differentiate with the title screens where they tell you the episode titles, because some of them are labeled as standalone episodes, and then there's complex episodes.
Mm-hmm.
The standalones actually have a green title card, and the complex are blue. And it says complex episodes.
So the complex ones are the story episodes. The standalone are the individual
Yeah,
solo episodes.
yeah. Complex are the Laughing Man case, which are episodes 4, 5, and 6, 9, 11, and then 20 to 26.
You did your research, buddy.
Yep.
Dan, he's showing you up.
I'll have to.
What can you add to what
I'll
he's
have to
telling?
show him.
What can you add?
Well, I already
Nothing.
added the OVA. So
Can-
that was my contribution.
That's it. Just that there's an OVA. While Zero is just wrecking your shit here.
I didn't realize it was a competition.
Well, apparently now it is.
Well, next week is my turn to go, so that's what we'll score against. Although Log Horizon has basically just the anime, so that's going to be much shorter.
So yeah.
I think there's probably a manga, but yeah.
Guys.
There is a manga for that one. I looked it up.
He's already doing the research for
Yeah,
your
Zero,
shit
stop making me look
already. So, guys, who wants to start off with trying to convince me this is a good show? And to watch it.
Dan needs to make up some points, so he'll go.
I think from now on, I'm going to award a winner at the end of every episode.
You're so
Sweet.
competitive. That's fine. This is one of my favorite kind of anime series. It's that this is really science fiction at its best. This is technology going what if. Especially for how old some of this is, that it was first written in the mid 80s, and like what was the most advanced piece of technology you owned in 1988, Randy?
I mean, I had a decent, for the time, a computer,
Ran like DOS, maybe like
Yeah.
probably not. I think it was before Windows 3.1.
It was, I think it was Apple.
Okay, so you had an Apple too.
I think so. I had a Nintendo, I think. I think it was 88. Maybe an Atari. I don't remember. I know I had an Atari.
Here's a series that at the time that we have, 8-bit graphics are high tech.
Mm-hmm.
This is a series that's gone out to question. All right, what if at some point in the future we could, connect our brains to computers and replace our bodies with robots? And what would that do to our society? How would we police ourselves? How would we interact with each other? What would crime look like? What would sex look like? All these.
The main point Dan wants to know.
Damn it, Randy, why can't I fuck my computer yet?
Well, if you watch her, you can probably fuck your phone.
No, I don't have that adapter yet, sorry.
Ah.
But this is a great science fiction series in that it has a lot of what-if questions and tries to give answers.
Okay. Zero. Your turn.
Okay. As far as Ghost in the Shell standalone complex goes, I think it's probably one of the best science fiction anime in existence, period, because it was very forward-thinking. It posed questions about how the internet and how technology would interface with us in the future, because, if we do start cyberizing ourselves, how are we going to interact with each other? How are we going to tackle big philosophical questions that have been around for centuries, millennia even?
This sounds a lot like my point.
Well, it is what it is.
Did they ever say what year it is in these shows?
2030.
2030. We're coming up on that. I don't see we're getting anywhere near that.
Yeah.
I know.
It didn't pick up till about 2019, I think they said, is when it became public.
I think we're two world wars behind according to their timeline as well.
Yeah, they've had lots of wars, and there's no USA. It's the American Empire. I love that.
That always cracks me up.
Yay. We're an empire now. Does that mean
Yeah.
good? Are we the good guys?
No. I mean,
No.
I mean, you're just a government. You're not really good or bad.
No, we're pretty. The American Empire is a bunch of assholes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
they're not evil. They're just another big government.
okay, so this takes place in Japan, right? Or does this
Yeah.
take place all over the world?
No,
Japan.
Okay, so we don't pop up there that often, then, do we?
2 episodes, as far as I got, and took notes on.
All your notes are not useless because that changes how the show works.
Yeah. Well, at least I know random factoids. I don't have to spoil everything with them, or I don't get to, but they're still useful.
Now, when it comes to the show, what do you like more? Do you actually like the standalones or the complex sides? Like, do you prefer the individual episodes, or do you prefer the storyline about the Laughing Man that, as Zero pointed out before, has certain episodes that it's attached to?
That's hard to pick.
Yeah, it really comes down to which standalone episodes you're talking about. Some of the standalone ones are kind of silly. Some of them are very good.
The one that I really liked, is, do you guys remember? It's early. It's like episode 2 or 3, with the tank AI.
Yep, that's episode 2.
I really like that episode.
Yeah, that one always hits me right in the feels. It's like, oh god, this is so horrible at the end of it.
It really is, but yeah, that's a good episode. It has a lot of conflict. It has conflict between religion and technology, and between family, duty, and individual pursuit of happiness.
The one thing that really impresses me about me talking about the show again is that the in-depth thing they have about what makes these people human still, like what constitutes humanity.
Yeah.
And it does come up in, I'd say, a fair amount of episodes where this kind of a question comes up. But I don't know. Let's see. How do you think the animation held up?
Pretty good for the time. The CG is a little bit.
I said
on the
held
lower
up.
end.
I said held up, not how it was back in 1990.
Held up good
You think it held up well?
for me. Yeah.
Dan?
It's very watchable. I don't have any complaints with it. I mean, the stuff nowadays is better. Obviously, we've progressed,
Yeah.
but it's entirely watchable.
Yeah. How do you guys think the voice acting and everything else, animation story wise, things like
Voice
that?
acting's still really good.
Yeah,
All the voices fit.
I'm a huge purist that I prefer subtitles almost exclusively, but Ghost in the Shell is one of the few series that they've actually dubbed quite well.
I won't watch dubbed or subtitles. I won't.
Yeah.
I will sit through the worst dubbing ever because I am too fucking lazy to read it.
All right, so Randy's illiterate. How about you, Joe?
I usually watch subs because that's what comes out first, but if it's a good dub, I'll watch it dubbed. This one is one of the ones I almost only watch in English. The Japanese just doesn't fit somehow. Like, the theme of the show, it works better in English.
Did you watch it originally and as dubbed or
Oh,
in
I watched
subtitles?
it on Adult Swim, so dubbed was the original way I watched it.
It could be that's making you biased towards that.
Maybe.
Often the one you see first, you associate the voice actors with those characters, and it seems wrong to watch it the other way.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but I've had series where it's like I've tried watching it dubbed and then I'm like, oh god, I can't get through this. Is the
some of
subbed
them are
any better?
Yeah, some of them are just it changes the show entirely.
Like if I watched Dragon Ball Z dubbed and subbed, I cannot watch it subbed.
Yeah.
Because
I find the subbed voice is really weird for
Oh,
Dragon
yeah.
Ball Z.
Oh yeah, like that's not Goku. Why does he sound like he's 12 when he's supposed
Gohan
to be?
is like more manly sounding than Goku
Yeah.
as a child.
And plus, I really like Vegeta's voice. I don't like the other version of him.
Oh yeah, that's a great voice actor.
Yeah.
Vegeta head, yeah.
Vegeta and Piccolo. I mean, they got spot on for me. But No, I mean the main thing, like I want to go over when it comes to these things is the key things. Like, does it work? Does the concept work? Does the voice acting work? Does the effects work? Is it something that you would continue watching? And questions like that.
I'd say if by the time you get to episode 4 or 5, if it hasn't caught you, then you probably aren't going to like the series, because by then you've had 3 standalones and 2 of the Laughing Man case.
Mm-hmm.
So you've gotten a feel for it. By the second episode, they pretty much set the tone for how the series plays out, where there's a little bit of detective work, there's action involved, light hints at philosophical questions, but they don't beat you over the head with it. Like, hey, think about this. This is super philosophical. Aren't we smart?
Yeah, they get very wordy sometimes, and they will throw really advanced philosophical concepts around willy-nilly without explaining them.
What, for Ghost in the Shell or just in other shows?
And the Ghost in the Shell, mainly.
I don't know. I didn't find it
I think
distracting.
I think the old guy can.
Aramaki, the chief?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like, in some episodes, he likes to cap it on a question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
especially it's one of the early episodes where he's summing up the Laughing Man case as a standalone complex. He throws out a lot of terms that most people are not going to be familiar with. I know I wasn't.
Yeah.
You're like, to Google, I must know what these words mean.
That's what Google's for. So.
Because my idiot brain doesn't know.
But it can, which is the lovely thing about brains. They can.
We need to get Dan the standalone complex for dummies.
Oh, man. The
There's
worst
also,
part, though, with them being philosophical, the one time they do beat you over the head with it is the beginning of the first episode, but it's only on screen for about 5 seconds. They have this big text dump trying to explain the entire universe of Ghost in the Shell in one paragraph. And I paused it, and I'm like,
you'd
my
better have
god,
a
this is
pause button
amazing.
or you're fucked here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I sat there and looked at that for about 10 minutes to try and figure it out, having already seen the series, and I'm like, okay, what are you trying to tell me? This is like, was this translated directly from English, where it's like, they gave up halfway? Because this is really awful. But, luckily it scrolls by really quickly, so, before you can even finish, you're already watching the action again.
So, would this be a show that you would continue watching the other seasons of it?
Yeah, if you like what you've seen up to like episode 4 or 5, where you've gotten a mix of the standalone and the Laughing Man case, the second season is more of the same, but different cases and more backstories. Because some of the standalones, that's one of the things I really like, is the standalones. Some of them are just individual cases where it's like, okay, they're gonna solve something. And then there's ones that are backstory cases, like episode 8 is Missing Hearts. I think that's the one that gives a bit of information on the Major's backstory, and then there's Jungle Cruise, which gives Bato's backstory.
Bato.
Yep.
What are the name of the little robots? I forget.
Tachikoma.
Tachikomas are awesome.
Yep.
I love those little guys.
Those guys are amazing in their ability to be both endearing and annoying to me.
There's an episode where they question their mortality, right?
Yeah.
At least one, yeah.
That is episode 15.
I really like that episode.
Yeah.
I don't
that
know
one's
why.
interesting.
I really like that episode because it delves into do AI have souls and stuff like that, and are they actual things or are they just machines and shit?
Are they evolving? How far can they evolve?
Yeah, really like that episode.
If they're continually synchronizing with each other, are they really are they really individuals?
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that I like to find in I don't like it in every show I watch, but when you put it into a good show like this, it caps it. It makes it that much better.
Do you guys watch all the way past the credits to see the Tachikoma time?
Oh, the Tachikomatic days? Yeah. I've seen them once, but for review purposes, I didn't know if you guys would watch them, so I skipped them. But I've seen all of them.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much throwaway silliness, but the Tachikoma is being very very silly.
They're adorable. I want one. I would name it Bill.
Bill the Tachikoma.
Yes,
Would you give it natural oil?
Yes. It's like catnip to them, right?
Sort of.
Yeah. It's what makes them grow personalities, I guess. I'm not sure. They like Star Trek mumbo jumbo it away. They're like, oh, the natural oil built up a protein on the chips on the circuit board and the blah 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 blah, and then you're like, what?
And then the polarity versed and the antimatter phased, and yeah.
Yeah.
And then they went into warp speed and fell into a black hole. Bob's your uncle, you're done.
Yep.
No,
And that's why they have personalities, apparently.
Now here's the big question. What's wrong with this series?
My biggest complaint with this series is there's very little character development for any of the main or even side characters. That all of the Section 9 people are basically how they are in the movie from '95, and they're that same way pretty much through the whole series. There's no development of their character or evolution of Section 9. They pretty much are how they are.
Now,
Except for
I was about to say
what's his name?
Zero. Do you?
Togusa.
He probably gets the most.
Yeah, because he's the
development.
least cyberized and he's the new guy to the team. He got recruited like just before, basically just before the start of the series is what's implied, and so
Right.
he actually
has the
does
most
grow.
personality because he's not a cyborg. He has a wife and kid. He's in some ways the audience surrogate, but he also gets the most personality, which is odd for an audience surrogate. Because they're usually left as a blank slate, so that whoever's watching can feel themselves
Put themselves
in
inside
that,
of the
in that
character.
slate, through their eyes. Yes.
Yeah, he's got a very Watson role where it's like he's there to both be where you jump in and to ask the stupid questions.
And to use the stupid gun.
That gun's got good penetration, though.
Good penetration.
It
Right.
helps him on several cases.
Right, and 6 hole shots before it's out of ammo.
Yeah, but it's one of those quirks that gives him
Yeah,
character, just like how
exactly.
Bato and his love of machines gives him character.
And his love of weightlifting, even
Yeah.
though he's a cyborg.
So Zero, what's the Eric? What's the thing that you don't like about this show?
That's really hard because I like pretty much everything about
there's-
the series.
Always something in a show that nags you sometimes.
Always, sometimes, yeah.
Always sometimes.
Well, I will agree that there is a lack of character development, or at least
That's really my point.
backstories. Well, they don't give a lot of backstory for the characters. I assume it's one of those things where it's like, oh, if you read the manga, then you know about all these characters. But, it's kind of just like, in the first episode, they kind of give you the rundown because they want to start with action, because that's a good way to start off a series like this, is start
You
off
want to get the
fast.
audience.
Yeah. So they introduce all these characters, but it takes a few episodes, or maybe like 8 episodes, before you actually associate the names and faces with some of them. So
Well, some of them really get nothing at all. Like the sniper,
yeah, he's second season. You get his backstory.
the support hacker whose name escapes me at the moment.
Which one? The one
Ishikawa.
with Ishikawa, yeah.
And the fat cyborg
Bulma.
Yeah, Bulma. Like practically nothing about them, and they really even have hardly any lines as well.
Yeah, they're kind of just guys that do work, and they have names.
They're just
because,
we need another warm body.
yeah, we need a team. It needs to feel like a team, and not just like 4 characters in a room.
Yeah.
Well, essentially it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the rest of Section 9 is a bunch of android women. who just like basically secretaries.
Hey, don't forget the no-name soldiers. There are no-name soldiers with masks and
The red shirts?
Yeah,
Oh,
except
the
they're
recruits.
gray, and they have like Nazi masks, basically. You know, like those stormtrooper style
Faceless.
masks.
Yeah, faceless stormtroopers.
Yep.
Now the one I was gonna bring up something here. You guys were actually talking about the characters.
Mhm.
Just a little bit ago. Can you guys go through each character and who they are, what they're basically, just a little bit about them without going into any spoilers that has to do with the story down the line?
Okay, so there's the Major, who's the main character, Kusanagi Motoko. She leads the team. She's like the super good hacker, and she has the most experience with all the cyber stuff.
And that's a chick.
She's also the one who the only one who actually gets an actual rank.
Yeah.
But that's
Oh.
the chick from the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Bato should also be in the movie, I think, in the first
Mhm.
one.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
There's Bato, which is...
I think all of Section 9 is in the original movie, aren't they? At least peripherally.
I'd have to see it again because I can't
I
remember
know
off the
I
top
know the
of my
sniper
head.
guy and Ishikawa, and I think the fat guy is. And I know the chief is.
Yeah.
And Togusa and the Major and Bato are obviously all in there.
Yeah. So Bato's the muscle. He's like basically
He's the
second
tough
to the
guy
Major.
He was there to be beaten up, so that the Major can look even tougher when she beats up whatever beat him up often.
Yeah. And he's a support character in a lot of ways. Like he's the closest to the Major, and
Yeah, he's got
they
kind of a
have
tough
history together, but they don't go into it that much, as far as I recall.
So he
At
put
least-
his robo penis into her robo vagina.
I don't think so. He's
No,
got a
they're war
but
buddies.
It's very, very war buddy comrade sort of thing.
Yeah, they were in wars
I think
together.
he wants to put his robo dick in her robo vagina. She doesn't seem interested in that. He's always kind of waiting for her to make a move.
Okay. So who else we got?
We've got Chief Aramaki. He's a crotchety old guy that pulls the strings so they can do their job. Because, like, Section 9, the organization they work for, is basically like, you know, they're the anti-cyber terrorists, and they're not. It's like the underground government agency. You know, it's like they're part of the government, but they also police the government, so they're secret. And that's their whole spiel. So he's the guy that gets all the paperwork done so they can do what they do.
Yeah, he's the mythical, incorruptible politician, bureaucrat guy.
Okay. What else we got?
Togusa is the rookie.
Why don't you let Dan do a couple?
Yeah,
Okay,
just, come
sorry,
on.
I've got a list.
Yeah, we got Togusa. He's the new guy on the team. He's the only one who is not a cyborg.
You can
He has
Zero. If he fucks up, you can jump on his ass.
Okay.
he has some cyber brain enhancement, so he can talk wirelessly and some minor stuff like that. But really, he's pretty much human. He loves his revolver, despite everyone ragging on him about it, including me.
Yeah, they bitch on him really quick about that. Like between episode 1 and 2, I think they get him right away.
Oh, it's in the original movie as well. The Major chews him out for it.
Next.
All right, we've got Ishikawa, who is a support character. He's kind of the back office hacker for Section 9. Doesn't really get a lot of development. He's just kind of there to look things up on the internet for them.
He's the Google guy.
Pretty much.
Yeah. He's like their Oracle if this was Batman.
Yeah, but Oracle's useful.
He's useful sometimes.
Yeah, but Oracle's useful all the time.
Fair point.
Unless she's getting kidnapped or something.
Yeah. Well,
then
he
she'd
can
be-
walk around, so...
Yeah.
There.
But she has Batman.
All right. We also have Saito and Bulma. I'm gonna group them together because they're pretty much always on a team by themselves.
No, Pazu and Bulma are on the team.
Pazu.
Saito's the sniper.
Oh, I've forgotten Pazu entirely.
Wow.
What is his defining characteristic then? He's not the sniper.
Pazu fights hand-to-hand combat.
Pazu's the guy who smokes. That's right.
Yeah, he's also a gangster. Also, Bato smokes as well.
Yeah.
Bulma's the one
Bato
with
gets
the
well,
red eyes, and he's kind of fat and bald, and he's just a body. He's like the least developed character.
He's got eyes sort of like Bato's, but yeah, different colors.
Is that it?
That's the main cast.
What about...
And the Tashkomas.
Yep, and the robots that are adorably pleasant to listen to.
The very childlike AIs that they put in tank bodies for some reason.
I find it funny watching those things scooter around on those little wheels.
Yeah.
I find it
so much better
hilarious.
design. It's so ridiculous that the whole thing. I mean, they're great and they're amusing.
They're like 15 tons and they're on skateboard wheels.
Yeah.
And they have Spider-Man ability. They can shoot webs and swing around.
Yeah, they're great. I love those things. So, okay, we got mostly that that we got the standalones. Now let's jump into, without going into spoilers, anything we can get into when it comes to the Laughing Man part of these episodes.
Okay.
We got to dance around this. Not me. You guys need to dance around this subject because this is very story pivotal, right?
Right. The major arc of this first season is the Laughing Man case. To try to catch him or even verify that he exists and he's not just a myth or a series of hackers who have been using that name to do their own thing.
Like Anonymous.
Right.
Yeah, basically. And it's even similar in the fact that he has his own logo, kind of like how Anonymous has their Guy Fawkes mask.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Laughing Man was this case of corporate terrorism, supposedly, that happened like 6 years ago, and then, it's like the case went cold, and then...
I'm not sure I'd even call it corporate terrorism. They're trying to expose corporate corruption.
Yeah.
Or
so,
in some ways, government corruption as well.
So he's almost like a whistleblower from outside the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the trail went cold, and this is 6 years later. Something comes up, and they get a new lead, and some more stuff happens, so they actually start actively trying to figure out the case again.
Okay.
And I think that's as much as we can tell before spoilers come up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, I believe, I don't know if I got answers, but do you guys prefer the Laughing Man episodes versus the standalones, or?
I like them in their own way. Overall, I think they're stronger because
they're driven by something.
Yeah, they're all planned out and they work together, and it seems like because they had the standalones in between, like whoever was writing those episodes really planned everything perfectly, and they didn't just go like, okay, so we're gonna have this storyline, and it's gonna take place at some point, but we'll figure it out when we get there. Kind of like how shows like Lost happened, where they just kind of BS it as they go.
They wing it.
Yeah, this was not winged. This was planned.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're coming up on 35 minutes here. So let's break this down here. What do you guys think? Pass, keep, watch, don't watch?
Absolutely watch. But if you make it to like episode 5 and you don't like it by that point, then it's probably not going to be something you're going to like overall. But definitely give it a chance.
Okay. Dan?
I would definitely watch it. I'd go even further than that and say dig up the original movie from '95 and watch that. That was a really, really good.
That was 94.
95.
95.
Damn.
Shut your face, Randy. But yeah, go back and watch.
Somebody's not going to make it to episode 2.
Oh well. It was worth it. Go back and watch the original movie. It's really, really good, and introduces these characters to you as well.
Alrighty. So, for the winner of this episode, because I am going to do this now.
Oh crap! I pissed off the judge a second ago. Damn it.
Dan, I'm sorry. Zero, you win this one.
Yay.
You get 10 points to Gryffindor.
Sweet.
Fuck Gryffindor.
Well, it doesn't matter because you're not even Slytherin. You're the other like.
I'm not even in Harry Potter universe.
No. It's Gryffindor, Slytherin, and what's the other one?
Hufflepuff and what's the damn it?
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw, yeah.
Okay, you're Hufflepuff. You know,
no.
you're Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw. You don't get to pick. Shut up.
I am Ravenclaw. You're not a sorting hat. You don't tell me what to do.
You don't get to pick. Yes, I am the Sorting Hat. I'm the host of the show. Shut your mouth. So you are Hufflepuff, which is the one that, well, both of them besides those other two, don't really do anything in the movies. So
No, they don't.
you get to be the useless one.
So you get to be Slytherin.
Me? No, I'm the Hat. God damn it.
Only the hat.
I
Not
am
an evil hat.
I am everything that's not you guys.
Okay.
I'm Snape. I'm Dumbledore, except for
Oh, you die. Oh, spoilers.
but I'm not gay. Let's
That's
see.
just the actor. I don't know, but Dumbledore's
I
references.
I thought the character was. I thought she actually said. I thought she actually said he was. But who cares? That's neither here nor there. For next week, or not next week, I almost did it. For June 12th, we are doing Log Horizon. This one's coming from Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just to cap the show off, I'm going to let you guys know, or let the audience know, what originally was going to happen is that I would have watched, if I would agree, and I would agree by what they said, that I should watch this show. So next week, next episode, I would come on, in the very first beginning of the show, is I would come on and say if their recommendation was valid in my eyes. But since I've already seen this show, I'm going to do it here. It's valid. Watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So for next week, if they can convince me that Log Horizon is decent enough to watch, the following episode after that, I would have watched some of it, and I would come back on and let you guys know if it's any good or not. If I think it's any good, personally.
What if we say not to watch it? Will you
Then-
watch it and then contest us at the beginning of the episode after that?
No, because I think you guys aren't stupid, so.
Okay.
So, I don't know. How'd you guys like it? Did you guys have fun? Well, I don't know if Dan did, because Dan just got his ass beat royally.
I
See,
had fun.
Dumbledore
Yeah.
is gay. Yes.
Sure.
When it comes up as there's something I'm going to do. I'm actually going to create an email address for not this show, but the stream. So we will be taking recommendations from the chat room for these two fucks to watch. So next week or next episode, actually it should be before that. It should be the next episode of Cryptid Theory, which will be this coming Monday. I'll have an email address up there so you guys can send in requests there, and all you have to do is when you send it to me, make sure in the subject of the email it tells me what show you're emailing to, because it's going to be generic to the whole stream. So if there's something out overtly terrible that you guys want these guys to suffer through, or something that's great that you want me to see or anybody else to see, just drop it there. Guys, do you guys have anything you would like to add, or is that it?
Just don't torture us too much.
Please.
So